Hi, Grace.
Abby.
So you received a question from a viewer. I wanted to say reader, but I guess all the viewers are readers also.
Okay.
Cher, who asked you, which fictional characters in literature do you see yourself in the most?
That's right. So thanks, Cher, for that beautiful question. And we've done some thinking over here, and I have several names, and we'll go through them in detail. I don't have all the books that are homes for these characters, but the ones that I do have, I will show you. So, Abby, remind me of the name of that meme that was going around that was like, what are your, like...
Oh, I don't know the name of it, but it was the
people?
three characters. It was,
Okay,
what
yeah.
three fictional characters are you?
Okay, so that's sort of guiding my first answer, but like that included like TV and movies and stuff, so
Yeah,
it's
like...
not quite right. But my two of my results I think are in book form. The first one being Doctor Strange, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, of which I'm not a super fan, but I think he was like in the comic books, so let's just go with that. And I think what we have in common is above average intelligence, I would say. So that's fine. And the other one being Gandalf, the Grey Wizard, aka the White Wizard. And what we have in common, I think, is a little bit more mystical. And I'm not quite sure. But whatever. Like, he like, leads things sometimes, and like sometimes goes off and does his own thing sometimes, and likes to wear like flowy androgynous fashion sometimes. So those are some things I have in common with Gandalf.
Amazing.
Anything you would add to that, Abby?
Yeah, I feel like part of your Gandalfian mystique is the sense that you do have all the answers, but you kind of need people to figure it out for themselves.
Great. Thank you for providing that.
Yeah.
The next one, it's kind of weird to follow this path, but if anyone is familiar with P.G. Wodehouse, I would say that I see myself in the character Jeeves, which is a little bit weird because he's like a British butler in the past. But I think that there are some elements of my personality that are fairly structured, and Jeeves is an excellent problem solver, and he just, you know, he's a very capable person, and I think that I'm not saying that I'm as capable as Jeeves, but that is something that I see myself in him. Does that make sense? I don't know.
I think so. You did once say, I think, that you would like to be like a concierge.
Yes.
At like a really fun hotel.
And like an alternative career.
Yeah.
So it's like butler adjacent.
Yeah.
It's like a modern butler.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Society of the Cross Keys, you know what I'm saying?
No, but...
If you know, you know. And then the next one is a beloved child. And that would be Matilda. So yeah, I think I have some things in common with Matilda. You know, she's sort of like an oddball in her family. She loves learning. She loves to read. She's like, I don't know, inventive. Yeah, so that would be someone that I see myself in from like children's literature. I miss any like major characteristics about Matilda?
She's telekinetic.
Okay, right. We do not have that in common. But
I think I said also her mind is her weapon.
True.
I think
right.
That's also true.
And
she like doesn't fit in at home.
Correct. Yes.
And she doesn't fit in at school, but she wins respect.
Yep. That rings true for me. So we stand Matilda. And then the next are like kind of like two together, and the first one, which I don't mean to like lump them together, but being the main character in The Vegetarian by Han Kang, and also Keiko from Convenience Store Woman, which I don't have, but I have read. And I think similar to Matilda, oddly enough, is that both this woman and Keiko are like a little bit of like misfits in their, you know, social world, and they're like finding their own ways to kind of like blaze their own path and like stand up to authority, and they feel misunderstood, or other people misunderstand them in many ways. And so I think that I do see myself in both of those characters for that reason. And then I have another pairing, which I can't hold up both at the same time because I have my drink here. But this book, Optic Nerve, I think I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, maybe. The main character in this one, she's also like a somewhat kind of independent, strange woman. Like she does have a family life that's sort of hinted at, but it's like not like a main feature of the story. And then this book, Abby, which you've also read, Indelicacy by Mina Kane, the main character in this one, also very independently minded and does her own thing, is kind of like into art, into like a life of the mind, you know, enjoys reading and writing, like enjoys going to cultural events, you know, she worked in a museum and she goes to readings and like opera and things like that. And so I think like, at least on a superficial level, like those are things that like I also, you know, value and enjoy in my own life. So those two. And then as a bonus, bonus, you didn't know these, Abby.
I didn't. How exciting!
I know. Is the main character in this book, Euphoria by Lily King. She's an anthropologist, and I think she's loosely based on Margaret Mead, which I don't fancy myself Margaret Mead, but like the way that she like lives her life in the story, she's studying and sort of integrating into these very closed cultures and tribes in Papua New Guinea, and the way that she like goes about her research and like picks up on like rituals and traditions, I think like spoke to me in terms of like having a curiosity about the world and like, you know, approaching otherness with respect. So like I really liked reading about that, especially in like contrast with the two men in her life who are bad at it. So. And then finally, in the main character in this book, let me turn it around for you, An Unnecessary Woman by Rabi Alameddine. She is a 72-year-old woman living in Beirut. Her name is Aaliyah. We don't have that much in common just in terms of like life experience, but something sort of quirky about her is she spends a lot of time at home, and she's really into literature, and she has this like sort of private project where she translates like one major work of literature into Arabic every year, like just for herself, basically. And I think I like related to her love of books, her kind of solitary nature, again, kind of like going against the expectations of her family and like the society around her about like how she should behave as like a woman generally and an older woman. So yeah, she was a very memorable character. So yeah, hopefully that's enough. Oh, I forgot. I saved the best for last.
Surprise!
I need to give credit to you, Abby. We were also talking about the new reboot of the BSC.
Yes.
Babysitter's Club. And maybe this would be fun for anyone watching to consider which member of the BSC are you. But we determined that for me, that I'm probably a combo of Christy Thomas and Stacey McGill. Make of that what
gorgeous
you will.
Chaos.
I'm not sure I'm going to elaborate on that too much, but happy to talk about it in further detail should people be interested.
I really hope that they're interested. Yeah. I'm interested.
Yeah. Anything else to say about these characters? I
feel like there's a streak of like individualism, independence, and like intellect, and also like not fitting into categories of women that have been historically recognized.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Also, what are we drinking tonight, Grace?
We're having a little little sangria here that Addie made.
Yeah.
It's really cold in my hands. I should probably drink some.
Yeah. Warm the hand up.
Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed that, Cher. Would love to know what characters you see yourself in.
Ooh, good question. Yeah, if you have more questions for Grace, let us know.